Okay, like you know, my name is Tony Ankechuzo, and I'll just quickly run us through the little experience I've gathered for over 3 decades, like Mr. David said, in investment and financial literacy. So let's see how we'll go tonight on this wonderful topic that says asset diversification beyond conventional investments. Time will not permit us for us to share a lot, but I'll try and see how much I can do with this, because I'm an advocate for investments in the digital age. So wealth creation in the digital age. So what he's trying to say is that it's good to have both the traditional way of investment and the new or technologically based model of means of investment that is very predominant now in the society. And what he's saying is that everything that we're doing in the traditional palace is already happening in the digital space, but a lot of people are still not aware. So that is the awareness we're trying to create, that a combination of these two helps you to position yourself better for the future. So we'll be talking about building resilient wealth through strategic asset allocation in a changing world. The world is changing so fast, and we just have to change. So at the end of the session today, I think the objective for today is understanding why traditional investment approaches may no longer be very sufficient for us in our investment portfolios. Then we'll develop a broad investment perspective beyond savings, fixed deposits, and conventional stocks. Then we'll look at how to understand the principles of strategic asset diversification. We'll identify alternative asset classes and emerging opportunities. We'll equally look at how to align investment with their risk appetite and financial goals. Then we'll recognize the role of cooperative society in collective wealth creation and build a future-ready and resilient investment portfolio. So these are some of the objectives we're trying to achieve in tonight's section. So just roll with me. I want us to remember this, that income may provide comfort for us, but investment is the only thing that creates wealth. What I'm trying to say is that salary can never make you rich or wealthy. It can give you comfort. But when you're talking about wealth creation, you have to think investment. And wisdom preserves wealth. Legacy transfers wealth. Remember this. If you didn't remember anything today, just try and remember some of these things I'm saying. So I want to welcome us to the journey of asset diversification. Welcome us to the journey of building lasting wealth, and welcome us to the next financial level. So who is ready to actualize the next financial level or begin the journey after this meeting today? If you're one of such people, just give me a 111 in the chat room. If you're ready for the next financial level, I believe that is the essence of why we're here. Great. I can see the chat room bombing. So how many people here have most of their investment or most of your investment concentrated in one or two areas? Most times, the traditional or the low risk takers always leave their investment in this savings account, fixed deposits, stocks, or cooperative only, just where they a very good safety net, because they are not high risk takers, and at times they are not very knowledgeable on where they can put their investment to earn better. So how many of us here have our investment concentrated in savings account, fixed deposits, real estate only at times, share stocks at times, or those that have combination? You know, many of us, like, if you don't have enough financial literacy, you just get yourself stuck. These are the traditional ways of savings. And that is sitting in savings account when you want to take, or fixed deposit to earn additional income more than the savings, or real estate, which is the traditional way. The first thing especially men, they try to do is to buy land whenever they have money and to build house, at least the one you can live in before you think of commercial ones. Then, of course, stocks are always there as a traditional form of investment. Then the cooperative has always been there, but it's more advanced now. That's why we need to talk about it today. So the world has really changed drastically or dramatically. Investment landscape of 1980, 1990, and 2000 are not the same today in 2026 and will not be the same in 2030 and 2040. And that's why this tonight's section is very, very important, because you need to reposition yourself. For 2030, we're already in 2026, we need to reposition or position yourself for 2020 and 2030. So many investments today face inflation, currency devaluation, economic uncertainties, technological disruption, and regulatory challenges. If you are an investor in today's world or market, you can identify with what I'm saying. I may not delve so much into this, I'm just mentioning them so that we're coming from somewhere and we're going somewhere. So the biggest risk today is not taking risks. The biggest risk is failing to adapt to changes. That is the biggest risk. When because I do so much in the digital space, and when I talk to my contemporaries, my age mates, I'll be 60 this year in the next 2 months, and you find out that a lot of people are lost. They just have a closed mindset, fixed mindset. They don't even want to try anymore. Some of them, when you're talking to them, they say, Tony, it's you and my children that will be doing that. My brain cannot take what you're telling me. And that is just the reality. And over the years, in the course of this, my coaching session, I've come to find out that the brain is, research says that the brain is equivalent to 2.5 million gigabyte digital memory. 2.5 million gigabytes, our brain. So if you see that our brains are grossly underutilized. And as long as you don't utilize them, they begin to close in, and that's how people are dying. You die internally before you even die physically. So when you refuse to engage your brain by learning and accepting new things, because the more you give the brain, the more it's very malleable, it expands. And that's why they associate activities with the brain with longevity. And especially those that have, what do they call it, insomnia, forgetfulness. Some of these things are inactivities or underutilization of the brain. So let's not feel that we are too old to learn. For the older ones in the meeting room today, you can never be too old to learn. The more you learn, the longer you're likely to live. So learning and expansion of the brain is, I can say, is synonymous with longevity. So let's just keep that by the side as we run. So how do we elevate our investment perspective? I have said that most investors think very narrowly. Many people think investment means only savings, putting money in savings account, fixed deposit, real estate, and stock. That is what a traditional person would tell you. Oh, I'll buy a property, I'll invest in stock, and leave my money in the bank. When I want it, I get it. So these are the narrow-minded thinking investors. This, like I said, they are very, very important. This aspect of investment, they are very, very important. They will need to move with the trend. So we must think beyond them as of today, as an investment in 2026 and an investor moving into 2030 and 2040. The wealth creation pyramid. Let's look at the wealth creation pyramid as we want to move to the next level. We have the wealth creation at level 1 is where you have your income, salary, or business income as a sole proprietor or one-man business. Then level 2 is where you begin to save. Remember that savings is, of course, every member of Akilaah Cooperative must know or assume to know the importance of savings, and that's why you're in the cooperative, because there is a reason why you're there. We know the benefits of belonging to a cooperative basically is to save and to leverage on our collective pool of funds, our governance system, and our networking, So we're already here, unless there are those that have not joined us, we already know the importance of savings. So as you get this money, either through your income, salary, or business income, what do? You begin to save. And we have been advised that, look, if you stop work in the next, maybe if anything happens to your job or your source of income, and you cannot stand on your own for the next 8 months, you don't have funds that can last you for the next 8 months, 1 year, then you are in trouble. And that's where they say begin to save emergency funds, because emergency must come. It could be health, it could be anything. Some people, like drivers, who have accidents, their leg will be gone or their hand that they use. That is, retirement has come. So retirement can come by choice or by force. So we must prepare for emergencies. And that's why we are encouraged to save certain percentage of our income as an emergency, so that when it comes, we will not be stranded. Level 3 is investments in conventional assets. Remember, we talked about stocks, talked about real estate. We are moving up. Level 4, you now begin to diversify your assets by thinking about the traditional ones and the alternative investment we're going to talk about shortly. Then level 5 is wealth preservation, where you're beginning to learn how to protect what you have gathered or what you have obtained. Then level 6 is wealth transfer. So there are 4 levels, or will I say, of this is the pyramid for wealth creation. But there are 4 levels or 5 levels of wealth creation. We'll start by accumulating wealth accumulation. We continue the second level, wealth multiplication. The third level is wealth diversification, and wealth preservation, then wealth transfer. So I don't know how many of us know where we are in this equation. Are you at an accumulation level, or are you at multiplication level? Are you at multiplication and diversification go hand in hand? Are you at a preservation level, or are you at wealth transfer level? You must know where you are for you to know the next level you want to attain. And it has nothing to do with age. I was talking to a group the other day. I said, look at the likes of Michael Jackson, started making money at the age of 6. He died at the age of 50. And there are so many young millionaires or billionaires globally. So it has nothing to do with age. You recognizing where you are at any point in time. Are you at the first level of accumulation, or are you at the second level of multiplication? You started investing and all that. Then are you at the third level of preservation and the fourth level of transfer? So you must know where you are to know where you want to be. Move from one level to the other. Many people die even at the level of the first level of wealth accumulation. Take, for instance, the very, very low poor people, like the truck pushers, people that live from day to day. If they don't go to work any day, they cannot eat. Like during COVID, a lot of people, they go to the market, like the petty traders, is what they sell that they used to buy what they will eat that day. And they are at that level until they die. So they are just at the first level of wealth accumulation. They are trying to accumulate. They couldn't even move into the investment level or multiplication level, not to talk of preservation and transfer. So the important thing we need to know this night, what level I am and where do I want to be in the next 6 months, in the next 1 year, in the next 5 years. That is the essence of this section. So how do we master the strategy strategic asset diversification. When you must have known where you are, of course, you have to have your source for accumulation. What are the sources you have? And how do I diversify them? Let's say, for an instance, this investor called Investor A has all his investments 100% in real estate. And there are people like us, there are people like that amongst us. Everything is real estate. Like me, when I was a young stockbroker, I so much believed in stock that I never invested much in real estate. Because there are so many troubles with real estate, especially as a young career professional. You may not, until you get to managerial level in the bank where they will give you mortgage loan, you may never really be able to save money to buy land and develop it immediately. So you begin to do land banking. And land banking in Nigeria is associated with so much problems. And I had some that so discouraged me. I said, wait, as a stockbroker, I don't even believe in real estate. But number one, stock is very quiet, very liquid, ease of transfer and all that. So I concentrated my portfolio, my investments in stocks, bonds, shares, mutual funds. Of course, diversify into different sectors of the market. That was how I shared my risk. So, but there are people that believe, I have friends that believe in real estate. Telling them, come and buy, so I say, I beg, Tony, I don't know what you're talking about. I want to buy the one I'm seeing here, the one I'm in control of. But the era is no more, this 2026 and the future 2030, that is not where the future is, or the today investment is. And that's why we're talking about diversification. Look at Investor B. He had his investment 30% real estate, 20% stock, 15% fixed income, then 15% precious metals. I hope you know what precious metals is. 10% business venture, then 10% digital assets. Time will not permit us to go into details for this. So diversification means not putting all your eggs in one basket, putting your investments in different areas. That's what we're talking about here. And you can see Investor B is a typical example. If real estate, if stocks are not doing well, real estate may be doing well. Of course, his fixed income is there every month. He's getting, maybe he has fixed deposit where they are paying him certain amount, or investments in bonds or mutual, different sources that can cover up. So there is no way all these different sources of income or investment will go down at the same time, like real estate. At times, like if this guy has problem now, he will sort himself out faster than somebody that has 100% investment in real estate. Because before you can realize your cash from real estate, your problem would have swallowed you up most times, depending on the kind of real estate you have. So that's why it is important to diversify. So we equally go further to say why it's important to diversify, why it matters. Because different assets behave differently. Like I said before, when stock market fall, real estate may rise. When currency weakens, gold may appreciate. I know that when I started my business, after I retired from banking, I started my business. I was setting up. I had some little cash flow. I took some of my gold and went and sold. And used the money to put in my business that time. So, no investment is a waste, provided you do them rightly, with information, with purpose. So, I have a sister too that if you're talking about real estate, you tell it, no, I don't want. All her investments were in gold and silver. Anyway she gets started, she pulls her ring or one of her earrings and sells at the airport. They collect her money and off she goes. So different people will see different risk appetites and personalities. So when economic condition changes, certain sectors outperform the others. Like if we'll be monitoring the stock market, from January to recently that Trump started talking about peace talk with Iran. If you look at investments in oil and gas stocks, they were like moving like because of what was happening, the war, effect of the war. So anything can happen with information and with knowledge. You will know where to put in your money at any point in time. And of course, all of us that put money in oil and gas, like Aradel and some of those companies, we'll be monitoring the market because any day there's supposed to be peace talk, there's likelihood that the price of this thing will drop. So you need to run out of the market so that you don't lose values for your investment. And that's what happened last week. Immediately Trump said he was talking about peace, signing peace, the prices of the stocks in oil and gas started dropping. Because the artificial scarcity that pushed the oil prices will certainly drop. So these are some of the analysis that we do when we are talking investment. So what can be our diversification framework? We can have investment in paper assets where you have stocks, bonds, mutual funds, treasury bills, and all that. Then the second one is real estate, where you can have land, you can have rent out, Airbnb, and all forms of land in the office. Many ways you can invest in real estate. Then the third one is your entrepreneurship, your businesses, small businesses, franchise, the cooperative, and all that. Then the other one is digital assets, where we're talking about blockchain projects, tokenize assets, digital deepening, digital infrastructure network. This area is an area that we need to pay attention because a lot is happening in the digital space. A lot. Everything we are doing, both fixed deposits, so you can buy tokens and fix them now and earn interest. You can be here and own property in New York or UK through tokenized assets. So many things are happening. So don't limit yourself to the traditional way that we are used to. Then we have our precious metal like gold, silver. Like I said, this one is very common with women. Many women acquire a lot of this kind of assets. They use them for fashion and when use them as assets. They serve dual purpose. Then intellectual properties. You can go online now and see how much digital products are selling. Books, online courses, royalties, patents, and all that. So these are the different asset classes that we should be looking at when we're thinking of diversification. Then number 7 is alternative assets, where you have like arts and antiques, collectibles, agriculture, and venture investment. So if we are looking at diversification, we must consider all these asset classes. We can't go into details because of time. If not, we'll at least talk about them. But I know that most of us that are here, we are very conversant with the different asset classes. It's just for you to know how much of my assets are in a particular class. Like if you are in stocks, in the paper assets where you have the stocks, the bond, you can equally still diversify your investment even in that particular sector or asset class. But it's good to move across the different asset classes and not just be in one place. So how do we unlock alternative sources of value creation? And what is value creation? Value creation is the ability to generate wealth beyond traditional income. So here you see things like intellectual property, agriculture, cooperative enterprises, digital economy assets, and precious metals are dominating the next generation asset classes, or called alternative wealth sources or asset classes. And many of us are conversant with agriculture. We can see a lot of innovation that is going on in agriculture. You can see a lot of innovation that is going on in intellectual property. Before, people just write books and have a bookshop, but now you can see on Amazon and different platforms where you can put your digital intellectual property in terms of books, online courses, and all that. And these are just at the comfort of your home, either with your phone or your laptop. So we need to look at these areas. Many of us with AI can even write books unaided. All you need to know is, what do you want to talk about? What are the pain points? And you just put there, AI will help you organize it. In how many minutes you can write a book? So these are the opportunities that are there. Then the cooperative enterprise like Akilaah, the platform from where we are listening to this night. Of course, being a member of Akilaah, you know how much you have benefited or what technology has done in terms of cooperative societies compared to what we used to have in the traditional balance. At the comfort of your house, you use your phone to do all your transactions unaided without asking anybody, oh, I paid in that money, it's not reflecting, or what is my balance, or how can I withdraw? Everything is online real time, like the banking sector. And that's where we're moving to. And that's why I refuse to entertain anybody that is still telling me to come and do cooperative in the traditional way. I say no. We can't be moving backward. We're moving forward. The digital economy asset is booming. A lot is happening here. Let's pay attention. You have your education and finance, the decentralized finance. So many things are happening where you can buy, the same way you buy shares in the traditional balance. You can buy shares to own the digital platforms, the likes of Amazon, the likes of a lot of blockchain, valuable and credible blockchain projects are going on. Don't just be a consumer, be a co-owner. Find out how you can own those digital platforms, because that is where the money is, not in the consumption. Yes, you can go and host your books on Amazon and make yourself, but try and go and buy Amazon shares and try and be co-owner. That's where the money is. And a lot that the likes of Udemy or Coursera that are doing online courses, one course there can give like billions of naira and dollars. And this only goes to those that could own those platforms and not the tutors and people hosting their courses there. So there are so many things we can do. We've talked about precious metals. So let me run because time is fast. So having talked about the alternative, I want to go further to talk about the cooperative, which is the platform where we are tonight. Why should we be a member of a cooperative, especially Akilaah? At least Akilaah is one of the foremost cooperative societies that is in the country today in terms of their technological advancement. So we can do our individual savings there. We can do collective capital there. We have strategic investments from where we get income and share dividends during the AGM. Do you understand? By distributing profits, asset appreciation, and general wealth being created there. So it's important that we understand what we're doing here, and we equally help to bring other people out of ignorance so that they can benefit what we're benefiting from. So how do we align our investments with risk, our risk capital, when we say that, oh, we need to diversify? We need to diversify, but we must understand. I always tell people that the only way to succeed in life, number one, is self-discovery. If you have not discovered yourself in terms of your finance personality or your investment personality, you keep making mistakes or moving around circles. So self-discovery is very key in building wealth or in succeeding in anything we do in life. And because of that, I wrote a book on it, Recovering Lost Years and Lost Opportunities. Self-discovery is never too late. So what you're hearing today, do you know your personality type when it comes to money, handling, or finance? Do you know your risk appetite when it comes to investments? These are very key things that will help you to know the kind of investment you should go into. Because if you're not a high risk taker, if you're not like in the finance, one of my books that talks about this finance personality or money personality, where you have wasters, you have avoiders, you have investors, you have strategists, you have savers and all that. If you do not understand your personality type when it comes to money, you won't know where your problem is coming from. Then when it comes to investment, you have three categories. You have the conservative investor, you have the moderate investor, and you have the aggressive investor. So are you a conservative investor? If you're a conservative, you don't like risk. So safety, stability is what you're after. Then you'll be looking at treasury bill, bonds, and fixed, anything that will give you fixed income, so that nothing tampers with your capital. In investment, nobody goes out to lose his capital. Even if you won't make profit, make sure that your capital is intact. So for those conservative people, no matter any kind of investment you bring, anything that will erode their capital or put them at risk, they will say no to it. But when you come to moderate investors, they have mix of growth and stability. So they begin to look at stock, real estate, and mutual funds. But when it comes to an aggressive investor, they focus on what will give them higher growth, higher returns. The higher the risk, the higher the return. They dump into startups, digital assets, and venture investments. So where are you in all these equations? Are you a waster? What readily comes to your mind when money comes to you? Especially money you didn't even plan. Do you just think of going to have fun, take your friends out? Oh, there's free money has come, let's go hang out. Or do you think of saving at least 50% or 30% of that money? Or even like when you earn income from any source? What readily comes to your mind? That's where you begin to know your personality. Are you a generous giver? You will give and give and give and give away everything and even go and borrow. So you must understand your personality so that you know where your problems are coming from and how you can manage it. If you're a generous giver that once anybody comes to cry to you, you can't say no, you just back. If your money is coming, if you're a salary person, you put a standing order, instruction to your account. If your investment is 20%, send it to give that standing instruction to once money hits that account, 20% should go to your investment account. Your tithe, if you're a Christian, you believe in tithe, your whatever. Because if you don't do that, once money comes and people come and pay, and they know, actually when I was working, I was working under paid employment. As if they know when they pay you salary that once your salary is coming, you see problem coming from everywhere. Demands. I don't know how they do it. So, and if you don't put these checks and balances, you will not be able to save, you will not be able to invest. And at the end of the day, this same group of people that you are helping are the ones that will say, look at her or look at him. After all the years of 20 years or 30 years old, what does he or she have to show for it? Meanwhile, you are the one dashing them money and making them feel as if without you they can't survive. They will survive. So let's understand our risk appetite. Another thing that is very important is we should know that we should never copy another person's portfolio, because no two people are the same. In terms of age, in terms of income, no two people earn, even if you earn the same amount of salary, you may not be the same age, you may not have the same goals or family responsibility. So that's why you must tailor your investment portfolio to suit your own goals. That's why you must have goals. My goal may be to buy a car. Another person's goal may be to buy a plot of land and build. Another person's goal may be to give my children quality education and not a car. So your goals are different. So don't go and come because this person is buying land, let me go and buy. What is your aim of buying the land? Is it just to buy, or it's a form of investment? So your goals will drive your portfolio. Your age too should drive your portfolio, because if you want to, I keep telling people that your retirement starts the way you should start planning for retirement any day you start earning income. A lot of people wait 5 to 10 years before that they start planning. No. Because like I said before, retirement can be either by choice or by force. So any day money starts coming into your hand, begin to plan for retirement. I love the Yorubas in Nigeria. In those days, I don't know about now, they had this custom or tradition of trying to save every money that was given to their children from birth. They used it to start buying stock for them. As they are graduating from university, they are handing over their stock portfolio. Can you imagine stock that was bought from the time you were born? And not just that money, they will be buying over the period until you graduate. Even if it's only the money they use, they got gathered for and used to purchase stuff for you when you were a baby. For 20, then average graduation time during my own time was 24 years. For 24 years investment in a good company, do you know what that portfolio would be? And that's why when we were graduating from school, we used to see Yoruba contemporaries marry early, while the Igbo ones don't marry as early as Yoruba. So we started asking questions. It was when I was in stockbroking, I was in Lagos, and I found out why. That most of these Yoruba friends of ours, their parents had this culture of buying shares for them from childhood. And as they are graduating, they give them their stock portfolio as their graduation gift. And that's what they use to start their life. Just sell some shares, they can afford to marry, they can afford to pay for house, they can afford. But a typical Igbo person that doesn't have that kind of background or that, you see, you start struggling before you can even gather money to pay for rent, get a house, then you think of marriage. You're almost 30 or 30 something. So let's start early to invest. It helps for wealth preservation and wealth transfer over the period. How do we future-proof our portfolio? There are 5 future-proofing principles we must imbibe if we want to future-proof our portfolio. The number one is keep learning, continuous learning. Investment education is ongoing. The way I love to enter trainings there, and there's no training I enter that I won't go out with something. So let's keep learning. Financial literacy, financial education, investment. You can never know it, because every day new investment, new platform. People are repackaging investment platforms. They want some will fail. Why did people will come and correct what made that one to fail? So if you're busy brooding, oh, I lost money here, I won't do it again. Somebody has done an advancement of what made you lose money. What you should be thinking about, what lesson did you learn for losing money? You must learn a lesson. If not, then you're not helping yourself. So when you invest and fail, go and find out why you failed and see how you can improve on it, and see how other people have improved in that form of investment to enable you to recover what you have lost. So we must diversify across asset classes. Let's not concentrate our investment in one asset class. Then number 3 is that we must monitor the trend. Now, we need to understand AI, blockchain, fintech, and global economic shifts. You can't be preparing for 2030 and 2040 without understanding what AI is, how AI is disrupting and blockchain is disrupting activities or platforms across board or businesses. And this blockchain has been there for the past, I think, 10 years, or they started this disruption. But this is the height of it with AI, Web3, technology, AI, and blockchain. These 3 technologies, you need to go and understudy them if you want to monitor the trend and position yourself for the future. Then we must maintain liquidity. Let's learn to keep emergency funds. Let's not put all our funds in investment that we can't easily realize. There must be emergency fund for emergency. So, and the fifth one is we must review our investment annually. We must learn to rebalance our portfolios. When you review, you see how you can balance the areas that you are not, the ones that are not doing well. You can equally see how you can rebalance it with the ones that are doing well, or how you can diversify if you have concentration. You can even do that quarterly, half yearly, or annually, as the case may be, depending on your investment classification. Like me, I review my stock portfolio every week. Every Monday, I review my stock portfolio, because news or economic, what is it called, can happen. There could be a shift politically or others that can affect the price of your stock portfolio, which you need to run out before you lose the whole profit you have made. Then, in closing, I like to say that the future belongs to investors who think strategically, diversify wisely, that are engaged in continuous learning, and those that create multiple streams of income. So, I want to let us know that today, I believe we can take away, number one, what percentage of my wealth is currently concentrated in one asset? Is a question for you to answer. Nobody can answer for you. If you have not started, please start. Whenever you wake up is your money. It's never too late. Just start. Don't leave your money only in savings. If you gather, take it and begin to buy small shares, or begin to buy small tokens in digital space, or begin to buy land. Just try and spread them across. So, answer number two, which new asset class do I need to learn about? Everything. The only university that does not go on vacation is the University of YouTube or Google. They are there, or even ChatGPT. As far as you have light internet, you will go there and get information, or get a coach that has organized all these things and make life easier and shorter for you. What one diversification action will I take in the next 30 days? These are some of the questions or things you need to do after this section tonight to make sure that you're sitting down here today listening to me will be very meaningful. Remember, if you hear, you do not do, is as good as you've not heard. So action is what makes the difference. So how can my cooperative become a stronger vehicle for collective investment and wealth creation? These are the questions we need to answer. So with that, I want to say thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity you have given to me tonight. And I pray that I've been able to make one or two impacts. Thank you very much.